Good morning, this is Shelby Law with the Great Basin Smoke Dispersion Briefing for Monday, April 18th, 2022. Precipitation for the past couple of weeks is shown here with observed amounts on the left and percent of normal on the right. It's been a bit of a mixed bag for precip with some above normal amounts over Idaho, western Wyoming, and the mountains of northern Utah, and even these fringes, higher elevations here in northern Nevada. But further south, it's been very dry with much below normal precipitation over central southern Nevada, western and eastern and southern Utah. Snow over the past 72 hours. Shown here on the left, we have had some snow up there in the central Idaho mountains, western Wyoming, and even over portions of the higher elevations of northern Utah. Our current snow depth is shown on the right. We still have a fair amount of snow over the Idaho mountains into western Wyoming and mostly over the Uintas, with just some sparse snow over the Wasatch here in Utah, and then also along the Sierra front here. We have lost our snowpack with some warmer temperatures in the last couple of weeks. This morning's satellite imagery is showing a high-pressure ridge in place across the Great Basin for today, so warm and generally dry conditions, but there is a low moving into the Pacific Northwest, which will bring a cold front through the Great Basin later tomorrow. So for today, really high ventilation index across much of the area except over the Idaho and western Wyoming mountains. With that ridge in place, southwesterly flow area wide. We do have some pretty strong transport winds, especially over the western portions of the area, western Nevada, where gusts are up to 50 miles an hour or so. Some breezier winds in Utah, just around that 25 to 30 miles an hour. And mixing heights are pretty high ahead of that next low. On Tuesday, the low tracks through, bringing some precipitation throughout the day on Tuesday into Tuesday evening over the northern parts of the area, and then sweeping through Utah later in the day and the evening. High ventilation rates area wide. The winds continue on Tuesday out ahead of that low, with by Tuesday afternoon the winds will be strongest in eastern and southern Utah and southern Nevada. Still some strong post-frontal winds there in western Nevada. And mixing heights are still pretty high area wide. On Wednesday, we get a little bit of a break ahead of the next low that's going to be moving through. Ventilation rates still remaining very high on Wednesday. So on Wednesday, ahead of that next low, we'll see winds pick up again over far western Nevada. Mixing heights staying high. Clearing index is shown here for the next couple of days. Pretty high values really through the whole week as we see these series of storms move through. 3-day precip totals are shown here. This is for that first low that moves through generally on Tuesday, for some precip chances over the central Idaho mountains, western Wyoming, and just over the northern Nevada and northern Utah. Then on Thursday, we'll see that next trough moving through, bringing an increased chance for precipitation to a larger portion of the Great Basin. That Thursday, Friday storms a little bit stronger. High ventilation rates continuing. And that low tracks across the Great Basin into Friday, kind of exiting by Friday, late in the day Friday. Ventilation rates remaining high. And still kind of experiencing the wake of that low on Saturday with the cooler northerly flow area wide. Ventilation rates still remaining high, but starting to decrease across the south. And then more of the same is expected on Sunday, with continuing to see that cooler northerly flow area wide. Precip for days 4 and 5 shows that trough moving in Thursday, Friday, bringing a good chance for precip, especially to Utah, eastern Nevada, southeast Idaho, and western Wyoming. So not bad for a late spring storm. Trying to play a little bit of catch up on our precip totals here. And the extended forecast taking us into the 1st of May. Calling for above normal temperatures across the south with below normal precipitation over most of the geographic area, and possibly some cooler temperatures with a slight chance for above normal precip across the north. This concludes today's smoke dispersion briefing. Please check back on Thursday for the latest updates.